Gaia wept. Her monstrous children, the Cyclopes and Hecatoncheires, had been cast into Tartarus, the deepest darkness of the earth, by their own father, Uranus. Though the earth birthed them in love, Uranus saw only terror, and with iron cruelty buried them alive in the underworld. Their cries echoed through Gaia's bones, and with each cry, her rage grew. Beneath the surface, the Cyclopes, each with a single eye glistening in the pitch-black void, and the Hecatoncheires, bearing 50 heads and 100 arms, languished in hopelessness. Their cries reached their mother, Gaia, blending with the sounds of the suffocating earth, a symphony of suffering. With every wail, Gaia's heart ached, her fury simmering, promising a storm unlike any other. Her anguish demanded change, yet change seemed forever elusive through the endless layers of soil and rock, keeping her children imprisoned. Then, in a moment of resolve, Gaia's thoughts hardened like stone, determined to end her children's suffering from this unjust entombment. Her plan took root slowly. A whisper here, a gentle tremor there. She beckoned to the Titans, her more favored offspring, for assistance. Amongst them, Cronus, the youngest yet most cunning of the Titans, felt the shift in Gaia's essence. Cronus harbored a resentment against Uranus, and Gaia knew well to nurture that seed. She enticed Cronus with promises of power, of revenge, and a future where oppressive shadows no longer dictated his fate. Brimming with determination, Cronus stepped onto the terrain of his father's tyranny, his siblings watching warily from the sidelines. With the force of a newly formed alliance with his desperate mother, he wielded an adamant sickle and cleaved Uranus from his throne. As the heavens trembled under this swift revolution, Gaia witnessed the shifting paradigm. The weakened shackles of Tartarus echoed through her core. She felt victory. However, it came bonded with unforeseen consequences. Furious and grieving, Gaia summoned her Titan sons. "Your father has chained your brothers," she whispered, "and now I offer you a weapon." From the heart of the earth, she forged a sickle of adamant, sharper than any blade. The Titans recoiled, all but one. Cronus, youngest of the 12, stepped forward. His eyes were cold with resolve. He would become the slayer of the sky. As night enveloped the earth, the skies turned a deep indigo, and the stars glimmered like shards of crystal. The air was still, a prelude to a monumental event that was about to unfold. Uranus, the sky god, descended gently upon Gaia, the earth his eternal consort. Their union was timeless, and he approached her with an air of dominance that had reigned for eons. However, this night was different. The celestial peace belied the storm of rebellion raging below on the earth's surface. In the cavernous depths of the earth's shadow, amidst the whispering winds and rustling leaves, Cronus crouched, the weight of destiny upon his shoulders. He was one among many of Gaia's children who had been locked away by Uranus, fearful of the prophecy that one among them would overthrow his rule. The prophecy spoke of liberation, but it was Cronus alone who resolved to fulfill it. Cronus, with features that mirrored the rugged terrain he stood on, held a sickle forged from adamantine, a gift from his mother, Gaia. It glinted ominously in the scarce moonlight, a harbinger of the violent upheaval that was to come. The furious whispers of the earth echoed in Cronus's ears, urging him on as he stealthily approached his celestial father. His heart pounded with a mix of trepidation and exhilaration, the echoes of Gaia's suffering burning in his resolve. He knew that what he endeavored to do this night would rewrite the very fabric of the cosmos. As Uranus descended closer, drawn into the tranquil deception of the night, Cronus took his chance. He leaped from his shadowy hideaway with the agility of a predator. With a fearsome cry, he brandished his sickle and struck with all the force of Gaia's unmet anger. The blow was swift and decisive, severing the bond of tyranny that Uranus had maintained for so long. The heavens trembled with Uranus's agony as he was castrated, his power sundered with a single, precise stroke of Cronus's weapon. The skies wept stardust, and the earth shuddered in the aftermath. It was a moment that hung suspended in eternity, as if the universe itself paused to take breath and reckon with a new order. Uranus cried out across the cosmos, a scream so powerful it fractured the heavens. His divine blood spilled upon Gaia, and from it were born terrible and wondrous beings. The Erinyes, goddesses of vengeance, emerged first, drawn to the cries of injustice echoing in the universe. Their eyes ablaze with righteous fury, they vowed to punish those who dared defy cosmic law. They were relentless and unyielding, feared by mortals and gods alike. Next came the Gigantes, mighty giants that stood as towering beacons of raw strength and rebellion. With their feet planted firmly in the ancient earth, they symbolized an indomitable force that could challenge even the gods. The roar of the Gigantes was the echo of the earth's resistance, a reminder of the primal power lying beneath the surface of Gaia. The last of Uranus's bloodbirths were the Melii, the ash tree nymphs. They were serene yet mysterious, embodying the nurturing yet wild aspects of the natural world. Tasked with bringing life to the forests, their laughter was the rustling of leaves. Their whispers were carried on the winds. They nurtured the land with a gentle touch, ensuring the balance was preserved. From the sea, where Uranus's severed parts fell, arose a transformation unlike any other, a birth shrouded in mystery and beauty. The foam of the ocean gave life to a new goddess, Aphrodite. But her story would unfold in time, a tale of love, beauty, and desire that would captivate gods and mortals alike. Thus, from the violence and chaos of the fractured heavens, new life and tales were woven. The legacy of Uranus's scream was not only death and destruction, but also creation and the dawn of new beginnings. The scene opens with the celestial retreat of the sky, the azure expanse that once defined Uranus waning into obscurity. All that remains are the scattered stars, distant and silent witnesses to the shift in cosmic power. As the sky fades, so too does the presence of Uranus, leaving behind a void that is quickly filled by a sense of quiet anticipation. In the aftermath of this cosmic change, Cronus, now victorious, ascends to the throne perched high atop Mount Othrys. His ascent is marked by triumph, the crown symbolizing both his victory and the newfound era he is about to usher. Around him gather the other Titans, mighty beings who were once bound under Uranus's rule, but now stand united in their allegiance to Cronus. The air is thick with the significance of the moment. The Titans, who embody strength and elements of nature, express their approval and support for Cronus's reign. They hail him as their leader, their king, cementing the transition from the old order to the new. With Cronus's coronation, the world embraces its new ruler, marking the beginning of the Golden Age, the illustrious period known as the Reign of the Titans. This era is one of prosperity and peace, where the land flourishes under the stewardship of Cronus and his kin. Mortals, too, find themselves in favorable times, experiencing abundance and harmony unlike any before. As the narrative unfolds, the significance of this change becomes apparent, guided by Cronus's wisdom and strength. His reign symbolizes not just a new chapter, but the promise of something greater, a world where balance and order prevail, echoing the Titan's legacy for generations to come. Uranus lay defeated, his celestial reign toppled by his rebellious offspring. But now, as he drifted away into eternal oblivion, one final proclamation echoed through the cosmos. As I fell by the hand of my son, so too shall he fall by the hand of his own. Cronus, the victorious son, stood tall above the realm he had claimed. His eyes sparkled with the triumph of his revolt, a brand new era of gods now under his rule. Yet his father's words lingered like a distant thunder. Dismissively, Cronus brushed off the curse. To him, it was nothing more than the desperate utterances of a dethroned king. What could possibly threaten his dominion? He was Cronus, formidable and undaunted. Yet, as the days turned into years, Cronus couldn't silence the echoing curse. Its essence quietly sowed seeds of doubt within him, watered by whispers from every corner of his new kingdom. Time passed, and Cronus struggled with the specter of his father's warning. Despite his attempts to appear invincible, the fear gnawed at his core. His vibrant realm began to shadow with his unease. In the shade of this prophecy, Cronus adopted a stern vigilance towards his offspring. He watched them closely, observing their growth, ensuring no disloyalty loomed over his lavish throne. Each son and daughter was a potential threat, a possibility of the curse's fulfillment. He scrutinized their strengths and weaknesses, hoping to crush any rebellion before it sprouted. But as despots often do, his actions brewed resentment. Hidden away behind joyful smiles and sparkling eyes, simmering rebellion bubbled beneath the surface. The children didn't understand their father's fear. To them, it was mere tyranny. Seeds of rage grew alongside affection as they became wary of their father's regime. Cronus felt the tension, the unavoidable charge in the air. The prophecy was a ticking clock, a layered story known only in whispers, dismissed overtly but feared secretly. The warning, ignored yet undeniable, played its part weaving the fabric of destiny. In Cronus, the warning took root and sprouted as a dark shadow, following his reign in perpetual silence. For now, he ruled supreme, unwavered by the foreboding warning. Yet, the question remained in his heart, a whisper from the past. Will history repeat itself? And so, while Cronus reigned proudly, the specter of downfall loomed quietly in waiting, perhaps a call from destiny itself. Cronus has risen, Uranus has fallen, but prophecy never forgets. Subscribe to witness the coming of Zeus and the war that will shake the heavens.